It's confirmed something big is happening right now. Starting today, look at this. Multiple Social Security offices across the country are facing unexpected closures amid the ongoing government shutdown. Millions of seniors, SSI, and SSDI recipients are worried about their payments and the future of their benefits. Officials had promised that nothing would interrupt Social Security services, but those claims appear to be collapsing today. At the same time, a major question is being asked everywhere. Look at this. How much is your SSDI payment expected to increase with the Social Security COLA 2026? And even more shocking, reports have emerged that. Look at this. Social Security employees were crying in the office, frustrated and heartbroken over what's happening behind the scenes. We'll discuss that in detail shortly. So stay tuned till the end of this important update because this directly affects millions of retirees, disability recipients, and low-income seniors across America. Look at this. Social Security offices impacted today amid government shutdown. As the federal government shutdown continues into its third week, a growing number of Social Security offices are closing their doors or operating with reduced staff. Many workers have been placed on unpaid furloughs due to the failure of Congress to pass a temporary funding bill. This situation has already disrupted hundreds of federal departments, and now the Social Security Administration, SSA, is no longer untouched. Despite earlier promises that benefits and essential operations would continue normally, reports confirm that several regional offices are short-staffed or closed entirely as of this morning. Seniors trying to get updates, submit claims, or fix benefit issues are facing long delays or no service at all. SSA field offices are expected to face limited hours, fewer appointments, and longer response times, leaving many Americans in distress. While online systems remain active for now, in-person support is collapsing under the weight of the shutdown. Look at this. How much is your SSDI payment expected to increase with the Social Security COLA 2026? While the 2026 COLA announcement is postponed, the SSA confirms this month's checks will arrive on time to refill your pantry. That's at least one piece of good news for millions of people who rely on their monthly payments to survive during this crisis. The official 2026 Cost of Living Adjustment, COLA, announcement was originally expected in mid-October, but has now been delayed to October 24th due to ongoing disruptions and internal slowdowns caused by the shutdown. This delay has created uncertainty, especially for disability and supplemental income beneficiaries who depend on accurate COLA figures to plan for rising expenses. Despite the chaos, the Social Security Administration assures that October payments will not be interrupted, though communication delays may occur. Look at this. 2026 SSDI COLA, projected 2.7% increase stuck in shutdown limbo. The government shutdown, which began on October 1st after the failure to pass a temporary budget, has created uncertainty not only in the halls of Congress, but also in the homes of millions of Americans who rely on these benefits. Experts predict that the 2026 COLA increase will land around 2.7% to 2.8%, slightly above last year's adjustment, but still far below the rising costs of food, housing, and healthcare. This projection has become one of the most discussed issues during the shutdown, as inflation continues to burden low-income seniors and those living with disabilities. Organizations such as the Senior Citizens League project a precise 2.7%, which would represent an increase of approximately $43 in the average SSDI benefit, bringing it to about $1,623 per month, starting in January 2026. Valid SSDI payments in October. For 2025, the adjustment was 2.5%, a modest increase that raised average SSDI benefits to about $1,580 per month. However, analysts estimate that the 2026 COLA will be between 2.7% and 2.8%, driven by inflation that remains around 2.8% according to August data. The maximum amount for 2025 is $4,018 per month, reserved for those who have accumulated the highest taxable income over a 35-year career. However, most receive much less. The average $1,580 barely covers 80% of the basic food basket for a single person, according to data from the Department of Agriculture. This imbalance shows just how much Social Security benefits are lagging behind the real cost of living in America. Even with a 2.7% increase, most recipients will see less than $45 more per month, not nearly enough to offset rising grocery and utility costs. Social Security employees were crying in the office. Former executive recent reports from inside the SSA have shocked the public. A former senior executive revealed that Social Security employees were crying in the office during meetings, overwhelmed by mounting pressure and frustration. According to the former executive, the emotional breakdown occurred as leadership changes within the Department of Government Efficiencies, DG, created chaos and fear among employees. Some staff members reportedly expressed concern that sensitive beneficiary data was being accessed improperly, raising internal alarms about transparency and oversight. Others said they felt powerless watching seniors and disabled Americans struggle while the system that serves them deteriorates. This revelation underscores the human toll of the ongoing shutdown, not just on beneficiaries, but on the people who work every day to process payments, appeals, and benefits. Look at this. Another major development gaining traction in Washington is the push to update the COLA calculation formula. Currently, the SSA uses the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners, CPIW, which many experts say fails to reflect the real costs seniors face. Organizations like the Senior Citizens League are urging Congress to shift to the CPD, or Consumer Price Index for the elderly. If the government adopts CPE, benefits could rise by $300 to $500 per year, as it better tracks expenses like prescription drugs, medical visits, and food costs, areas where older Americans spend most of their money. Supporters argue that switching to CPIE would protect seniors' purchasing power, while critics warn that it could strain the Social Security Trust Fund. Still, millions of seniors are calling on lawmakers to do the right thing and implement CPIE immediately. Look at this. According to a recent Gallup survey, grocery prices have surged 21% in just the past 3 years, while Social Security COLA adjustments have averaged only 2 to 3%. That means seniors are falling behind every single year, forced to choose between paying for food, housing, or medical prescriptions. Inflation's real impact is even worse for those on fixed incomes, especially SSI and SSDI beneficiaries who already live below or near the poverty line. Many advocacy groups now say the federal government must not only reform the COLA system, but also ensure that shutdowns never again endanger essential programs. Look at this. Stimulus checks in New Jersey. Some residents can claim up to $6,500 in combined benefits. Pennsylvania residents can claim tax refunds for housing costs in 2025 of up to $1,000, while the federal government struggles with funding. Some states are stepping up with local relief measures. In New Jersey, qualifying residents can now access up to $6,500 in combined benefits through new state-level stimulus and relief programs. Meanwhile, Pennsylvania is offering up to $1,000 in housing cost refunds for eligible taxpayers in 2025. These programs aim to cushion the blow for households facing rising rent, property taxes, and food costs. Although these are not federal stimulus checks, they represent an effort by states to protect their most vulnerable residents amid Washington's budget gridlock. The Social Security crisis has become a symbol of the nation's deeper economic divisions. Millions depend on these checks as their only source of income, yet the system itself remains at the mercy of political battles and outdated formulas. With the 2026 COLA announcement delayed, government offices closing, and staff overwhelmed, seniors are being told once again to wait patiently, even as their bills and needs keep growing. As the shutdown drags on, pressure is building on Congress and the White House to resolve the budget dispute, approve funding, and safeguard essential benefits. For now, the message from the Social Security Administration is simple. Payments will continue, but the future remains uncertain. The events unfolding today mark a critical moment for Social Security in America. Social Security offices impacted today amid government shutdown. This line alone captures the deep worries spreading among retirees and disabled citizens. Whether it's the projected 2.7% COLA, the emotional struggles of SSA employees, or the ongoing funding standoff in Washington, one thing is clear: the system needs urgent reform and compassion driven leadership. Stay alert, stay informed, and make sure to check your payment dates and official SSA updates regularly, because in times like these, knowledge truly means security.